So thank you so much for everybody watching. Stay tuned. I got another half hour. It's going to be a fun one. Chris Bretcher coming, more ideas. The Stewie pattern is what we're going to be talking about. So let's throw it over to Sharif. Thanks, guys. Ciao.
Take care. See ya.
What a day on the market it was today, guys. The major indexes up for the third consecutive day. Let's see what was moving markets today. Tesla up huge, with the overall market up over 7%. Even after getting a notice from the TSA regarding its autopilot, they want to know more information. We already know that there's a lawsuit in the works with Tesla and some of the consumers. BTC up big on the day. GBTC wins its lawsuit against the SEC, paving the way for the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We know the likes of ARK, Fidelity, and BlackRock have all filed applications. More to come on that. VFS, though, really down on the day, losing 43% as it shaved off over $65 billion in market cap on the day. Let's see what else the major indexes did. The NQ up 2.17%, able to hold that 15.4 level that was elusive the majority of the day. The ES, no slouch either, reclaiming another major level, 4,500. It actually closes above that for the first time in so many weeks. Oil, strong as well, as crude was able to eke out another gain, 1.44% to the good, as energy stocks rally with the overall market. And as alluded to earlier, Bitcoin, what a day for BTC it was today. Just, barely not able to reach that 28,000 and was dancing with it all day. 7.25% to the good today on BTC. Some of the other important names that we talked about this morning, Pinduoduo. What an earnings day it was for today. You can see that 6:30 a.m. print was basically off that 81 level. We got all the way up to $96.44, closing out just a smidge below 93.50. It beat on the top and the bottom lines, and it guided very well as the Chinese consumer continues to get squeezed looking for deals. Pinduoduo offering that in spades, 15.5% to the good. And as I alluded to earlier, VFS, well, it's been a tough day for this one, and it continues to be tough even after the close here. $46 the low, really breaking that $50 level quite aggressively. Started the day off, guys, at $82.20. That's where it closed yesterday. It was a tough day for BTC. Let's have a look at what to expect after the bell here with the Katina Man setting up for the after the close show. We know HP will be reporting. ZTO also on the books there, and Box, some of the names here, and there will be more. These are the four biggest. Brown Forman as well, and Patterson expected on the pre-market tomorrow, so keep your eye out for those ones. We know that CrowdStrike and Salesforce will be reporting after the bell. As I mentioned on the midday, these are bellwether stocks that are reflective of the overall market. A lot of corporate earnings are assessed as to how well are basically, they're funneled into companies like this. So whether or not they report increased spending or decreased spending will kind of guide us. It's a bit of a leading indicator into the overall market. Let's see what else moved markets today, guys. Let's have a look at what tech was up to. Netflix, no slouch as well, 2.85% to the good. If we could get to that, guys. Netflix did very well on the day, 2.85% to the good. Meta as well, 2.8%. Tech was really up there on the day. Apple, 2.2%. Google, the Katina Man, was in that trade, 2 2/3 to the good on that one. Amazon, a bit of a laggard, 1 1/3, as the consumer continues to hold back on spending, and Amazon feeling the pressure at the moment. Semis were absolutely no slouch either. NVIDIA over 4% today as it finishes above $488. AMD, you saw Sean bring this to you earlier, 3.16% on the day. It was a good day for markets today, Sean, wasn't it?
It was a fantastic day. Thanks, Sharif, for all of that. You're filling in quite well for the Brendo right there. We hope that you have a great evening.
Appreciate it, Sean.
My friend. So let's go. We do this quite often. So there you go. Props it up. Thank you so much to Sharif. But let's do the after show right now. And it is going to be time to rock and roll. Let me just update our board right here. And then now, I don't know how we get that list up, but if we can get it up right now, that would be great. Let's start talking about the market recap. I know you just did it right there. There's been a name that we've been looking at that's been Enphase. Shout out to Reliable Rudy. The TAN ETF today, up pretty sweet, man, up 4%. The name that I've been wanting to get into, and I've just been so freaking busy. Should have pushed the button the last couple days if we talked about Enphase. Huge move here. I like the name. There's credits. There's a bunch of different things happening with this name. I like Enphase. Nice move back up to the upside. SMH today, wowie wooey right there on the SMH as that continues to go to the upside. We'll talk to maybe a little bit of market talk here with Chris Brecher coming very, very soon. He's going to talk about the Stewie Patterns. Interesting to see what that's all about coming through right now. But look at SMH starting to go back up, taking out the 50 period again and going to the high side. Yeah, we're not doing earnings rate yet, but Box is now out, as is HP. But we can, yeah, you know what? Now that Sharif just mentioned that, let's go over and have a quick look at these numbers. I saw them hit. Again, there's HP Enterprises, right? So Hewlett-Packard come out. It's always nice when it's green. You get 48 to 52 EPS estimate right now versus 49. So pretty much in line right there. And then it looks like the revenues versus, again, I don't know why these are such rough numbers. Is it not out? Here it is right here. 49 beats 47, 7 billion beats 699. So HPQ, let's just have a quick little look to see what that stock is doing coming in here again. HP. What we're looking for is Hewlett-Packard, HPE, of course, Hewlett-Packard Enterprises. And there it is right here on the minute chart, flushing down a little bit into some past resistance. Oh, this is still the wrong, this is HPE. We need HPE. To come out. There it is, Hewlett-Packard. So now let's see what this is doing. So initially, a nice move to the upside into $17, now flushing back into $16. What does that look like on the daily here? Okay, so you have some good support going all the way back into July around this $16.50, $16 area. 200 period moving average down to 16. We'll see what's going on with that name. We have another name moving around here with Trade Ideas. And again, we've built this scanner. You can hit up Trade Ideas as well right now. So BKD, that's not a name they're looking at. Box on the red side right now. Let's have a quick look to see what, whoa, there it is. That's the move that I saw. Okay, so Box down to 28 and change right now. Coming in just a little bit. Again, some of these names really kind of bar-coded off of key levels. Now you're getting flushed down into 28. Again, that's the 200 period. This not a very violent name. Let's just have a check out on the exact numbers for Box, and there it is right here. Again, here's the common stock. You can find out the details about this stock again here. This is Benzinga Pro. Again, we're sponsored by them, so shout out to Benzinga. You can see right now down 8.5%, coming back in for Box. So that's going to be a nice little downside move here for this name. As you can see, cloud content here for Box. So Box getting hit there. You can see big MongoDB, other big cloud names as well, maybe getting hit on the back of that. So we'll have to take a look, but there we go. Just back and forth right now. Not too much happening for some of the earnings plays today. So we'll wait for tomorrow where we get CRM, we get CrowdStrike. Tomorrow is going to be a very, very busy day here at Trader TV Live and the after show. So what was down today? Well, if you come over to my screen we're over here. If you come over to my screen today, you'll be able to see nothing. There's not one sector today that we're looking at that's red. If I've missed a sector on here, you guys tell me. Even the Widowmaker itself, Nat Gas, remains up 0.1% today. XLE, we talked about them early on. Nice little dip buys, but then making that move up sort of, you know, we talked about that, high tides raise all ships. And even today in the energy sector, back to the upside. Gold making some decent moves lately again off some of those bottoms, 175 back up to 180. How you doing, Ramin? Nice move back up. Not good? Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I know, she's just joking around. But that's what that was there today. So that's a little bit of a look at the sector watch. And then, of course, we'll go over to the next topic. We already did earnings, right? And so as earnings coming into play there today, not much happening. I always think that, and we had Chris on last week when we had NVIDIA earnings. That was really huge, really fun. Today, not too much action as far as earnings are concerned. The SPY, though, that was a nice move, man. I mean, for anybody talking about the S&P 500, of course, there's equal weighted S&P 500. This is just the SPY. Look, man, we're not too far away. For all this doom and gloom talk, you know, we had Jackson Hole, we had the number today come through, we have hawkish look from Powell. It's really surprising. We have jolts today, screaming this market up to the upside. So we'll see, man. More numbers coming this week. I don't know. Good little take there for the SPY. Let's do a quick roll call to see who's here before we go over to Chris, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Thank you so much to everybody that's here. Christine is here, KNT, Angelica, Canadian Bacon, man. I see you a lot here on our stream, so thank you so much for that one. Just in time is right here. Oh, the DXY. We could definitely look at the dollar index. Is that the Dixie Group? No, it doesn't look like the DXY is here on Trade Ideas, but you can look at UUP again for the bullish ETF fund on that. Yeah, so there it is coming back in today. You always are going to have that, right? When you have US dollar strength, not great for multinational big cap names. US dollar weakness, good. So as you can see here today, nice move down here for the US dollar and UUP, making that move back down into the downside. So again, a little bit of a roll call there for everybody. Look at Google today, up 2.6%. Yo, what's up, Ryan? What's up, Derek? Mike Pena. Zion's here, man. Thank you so much. We're bringing old school to the show. I don't know what that means, but we're here to bring that. Oh, we talked about Saved by the Bell today, so that was pretty old school as well. I know there's an old school trader in there somewhere because Chris Brecher from Simpler Trading used to trade on the exchange, on the CBOE. So let's go over to Trader Talk and bring in Chris. Chris, my friend, what a wild week we've had since we last spoke. The last time we spoke, we had NVIDIA breaking highs up to 515, 518 on their earnings, and you talked about a great play, which was exercising and then covering the next day on your options there. Not yours specifically, but that could have been a play. NVIDIA since then down to 450 and back. How's your week been, and how are you doing, Mr. Brecher?
The week's going fine. I had a lot of things to talk about, but I thought I'd go over, I was going to go over inverse head and shoulders.
Let's do it, buddy.
But then I decided I was just on the simpler options and the simpler stock side. And it was a big hit going over the last 5 minutes of how to trade the last 5 minutes. So I thought you'd sort of like if I went over that and how we get little tells here and there, and we had them on the floor and you have them now, and I thought you'd like if I went over that.
Yeah, does it have anything to do with, so what we cover a lot in the last 5 to 10 minutes, of course, are the closing imbalances that are released by both the NYSE and the NASDAQ. But Chris, man, this is your time. This is Trader Talk. We're all looking to get a lot smarter, and I think you're the guy to help us out here. So whatever you want to go over there, let's go over the closing couple trades there if you have something important for us. Sure.
Sure. Just to let you know, you mentioned the floor. And I'm always excited about trading. I've always been excited. When I was on the floor, because I was always more excited than everybody else, I got the nickname Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell.
Okay. So it stuck because really my badge was KRS. So it should have been KRS. So fast forward to about 6 months ago, one of our clients is good friends with Tom Sosnoff and Tony Batista.
Okay.
And he says, you know, Chris says hi. And they're like, Chris, you know, KRS. And he said, oh, Tinky.
Tinky, yeah,
so
that's interesting name.
That's,
I like it, whatever. We all
that's
have
something
nicknames.
I wish hadn't stuck, but it did stick. But now I wanted to go over the last 10 minutes about the 1550 trade. I don't know if you've ever talked about the 1550 trade, but companies, it all has to do with buybacks. So companies voluntarily don't buy back stock 5 weeks before earnings, but they buy back all the time after earnings, but they can't the last 10 minutes. So a lot of times, if you can see my screen, a lot of times the market sort of takes a whack right at 1550 or like 2 minutes before. So that's why I wanted to show, I hope you could see the SPX versus NVIDIA in here.
Yeah, we can see.
And as you see on both of them, go and look at a 1 minute chart. And I'm hoping you can see this. Look what happened at 1550 on the right. Wow. And they anticipate. So first it went down because everybody knows they're going to have a 1550 trade. Then you have here right at 1545, right in here, and they whack it right at 1550. Really cool. Then you see the S&P on the left, and you see 1550. Look at that red bar. And they just nailed it. So the whole thing is there's a couple of ways to play market on close versus the 1550 trade. So one of the ways is you short right at 1550. Now that doesn't always work, but it works pretty well. And you have to anticipate a couple of minutes before. So if you take the S&P here and you take it right here at about 1547.
Okay.
So they anticipate, all these traders anticipate. So just look right here at 1546. So the S&P is about 44.99. Now I'm going to take on the right, and I'm going to put the 44.95 call puts. We're going to go put this on the right. There, and I want you to see right at 1550 what happened. Right there, they went from 58 cents to $2.
Yeah, huge move.
Right there, right between 1545 and 1550. I just find that that's a lot of money you can make on those kind of things.
But what
and
was
the risk reward is amazing.
I was going to say, but how do you know? I mean, and maybe I'm just going to ask these questions because as I'm learning as we go along. How would you know that that's going to be a sell at that time? Like, is it something where you just take the shot? Are you using 0-day expiry options on those plays? Is it just a straight equity? Do you have a stop? Is the stop at the high of the day at that time? You know, I just feel like for myself, that's a lot of risk to put into one sort of idea at the end of the day. All good, but was there sort of an indication that today you knew it might have been stronger than perhaps yesterday?
I think the key is that NVIDIA was already selling off prior to 1550 as if they were anticipating it.
Okay.
And these are end-of-day options. So I figured the 44.95s, you have to be quick, but you're risking all of 60 cents to go to $2. So that was a good one. But it works a lot better on a day where it's choppy, or let's say slightly down, the S&P down 20, and a stock refuses to go lower. That's usually a really good time to short that stock. But sometimes they're only 30 or 40 cents. The key is expiration day.
Right.
So every Friday on these big old suckers, you can buy out of the money puts, slightly out of the money puts, trying to anticipate that 1550 trade. As long as the out of the money puts, they're not that far out of the money and they're cheap. So a lot of times, like Lamb Research will be trading like 666 on Friday, and the 665 puts will be like 20 cents with 15 minutes to go. And then you get that little whoosh down, you take your profit and you're out. But it's worked really well for years and years on the site.
Yeah, no, and that's what a lot of our traders are looking for. Experienced guys like you that have some of these plays. Has the 0-day expiry options had an impact in sort of what you guys are doing in your room and things like that? Because we saw a piece by Goldman Sachs talking about some of the liquidity at the end of the day really being affected by some of these. You mentioned that the end of day on Friday seems to be good on the weeklies. Is that something that you guys are looking at with 0-day expiry, or you don't really look into those ones too much?
No, 0-day is great.
Okay.
And that brings me to the other thing. I know you talk about like market on close imbalances.
Yep.
That's another art, not a science. I want to show you something really cool. If you see on the bottom left, I hope you could see market on close, 1.5 billion to buy.
Of course.
So I hope you could see that down there. Yep. That doesn't mean to buy the market. Right. What happens a lot is the last 30 seconds that happens. So if there's over $1 billion to buy or sell, you usually see that little whoosh with 1 minute to go. In fact, if you put the SPX up here on a 1 minute, look what happened the last 1 minute. That's amazing.
We actually talked about that on the show, Chris, so go ahead. Yeah, no, we actually commented on what a huge move we had in the very last minute of trade.
Yeah, and it works really well when you're talking about end of day, when it's like $1 billion or $2 billion to sell. And the price of the SPX with 1 minute to go is slightly above a strike. The reason being is the sells work a lot better than the buys because then the companies can't buy the stock the last 10 minutes. So we've had times, let's say the S&P today was 45.01 with a minute to go. So the 4,500 puts would have been 20 cents. And then in that last 1 minute, because there's stock to sell and the companies can't buy back stock, sometimes you see 5-point moves to the downside within the last 40 seconds. So we've taken advantage of that a lot. And if you don't do the SPX and you're not comfortable, you can do the XSP, which is a tenth of the SPX, both cash settled. But we've done a lot of those where we like throw in a 25-cent bid with a minute to go. Somebody hits it, next thing you know, they're $4.
Cha-ching. We definitely like that kind of talking. Chris, if you're talking about being scared of a trade, this is not the guy, because yeah, we'll be in there hitting those plays. This kind of information is absolutely invaluable, and I want to thank you for that, because that's the whole point of Trader Talk. One of your colleagues in this chat, Ms. Danielle Shea, great options trader as well. I don't know if she knows your nickname. Maybe I won't tell her, because she may bug you on that one as well. But I feel like we're vibing really great. It's your second time on the show. I'd love to have you back. That information that you gave us today is absolutely invaluable. We don't have too much time left because I have that death clock. I don't think you can cover these Stewie patterns in like a minute or two. But can you give a quick little 30 seconds, and then maybe they can find you at Simpler Trading to ask you a few more questions? I know that you're popular on Stock Twits, and you also have a Twitter handle as well. So did you have a quick 1 to 2 minutes? Because literally the stream blows up when that timer hits. So any quick little discussions on those patterns, because you did email me about them.
Sure. A Stewie pattern is something I sort of coined. It's an inverse head and shoulders, and they come up on 1, 5, and don't get me wrong, they come up on dailies. But basically what it is the inverse head and shoulders. Here's CRSP. And you see the inverse head and shoulders. When I highlight it, well, it sort of looks like Stewie. It depends how many martinis I've had for lunch. But I think it sort of looks like Stewie from Family Guy.
That's what we thought.
Pardon me?
No, on the show today, I was like, what kind of name is Stewie? And then we all looked at it, I was like, must be Family Guy.
Yeah, and I hope I don't get copyright violations for saying that.
Too late.
But basically, when you see that inverse head and shoulders and then the neckline, which I drew here, a lot of times it goes up by the previous move. So it has a defined measuring pattern. Now, today, there were a ton of 5-minute to 15-minute Stewie patterns, and actually 4-hour Stewie patterns, and that's why I thought the market would rally.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Chris Brecher. Everyone can find you there at Simpler Trading. Excellent information. I'd look to have you on, obviously, as a weekly guest. We've discussed that. Anytime you're able to come on a Tuesday or Wednesday would be absolutely fantastic. We'll talk about that. I'm all confused about what day it is, but thank you so much for coming through. Again, invaluable information. I'm going to be short the SPY tomorrow at about 30 seconds left in the day to get those plays. Or today was long. We'll look for those. Keep those in mind. I'm going to give you a shout out tomorrow live on air as well for that great information. So thank you very much, Chris Brecher from Simpler Trading.
Thank you so much.
No problem. That was Trader Talk. All right, I saw Ms. Danielle Shea in the chat as well. Shout out to you, Danielle. We did talk about that. Chris is an artist, that is for sure. Thanks, Chris. A lot of love here as we go over to the next topic. Whoops, let's go previous topic. It's roll call time, baby. Everybody there in the chat, thank you so much. What a great guest Chris was right there. There it is, it's roll call. So if you're in the chat right now and you want to get shouted out, let's go right here. There he is, yeah. What's up, Q Puppy? Chris has so much stock trading trips. So many maybe stock trading trips, but I'm not a good English major. Shout out to Tom Trades, Jim is here, Rainy Days is here, Pillsbury is here, Captain Jane, what's up, Captain Jane? Justin's in the building, Youth is here, Youth is always here. Thank you, Mr. Westermeyer, great guest. So that means a lot to me because I know that you guys are traders, and that's what we're trying to do on the show is get better, not only as myself, but for everybody out there. Give the golden buzzer. What's up to Going Gucci? Gang. The Gucci gang is here. Everybody's right here right now. Thank you to JJ. Fonzie's in the building. AK, man, get that loaded up. Thank you so much to that. Great guest there as well. Everybody's here, man. Tucson, Arizona. The chat is going nuts, and I want to thank everybody for your continued support in what is the after show. We're going to recap. We're going to have great guests. We're going to have new trading ideas, as you just saw. We're going to shout out to everybody there that's in roll call. Adam DeLuz is here right now, as I see. Money on my mind. Everybody, man. What a great day it was. Unfortunately, you lost on VFS. Okay, well, we can talk about that. Let's do that right now. Let's talk about a little bit of VFS coming in your life. If you haven't made enough money on this one, don't worry about it. Many people have not. That is VFS. So let's have a quick look at this. Wow, VFS here in the aftermarket down to $44 right now for VFS. Shout out to everybody that's here. I'm going to keep watching you guys. We wrote down on the sticky note today, and a shout out to the sticky note, because why not? It's my show. I'll do what I want. Right now, here we go. Oh, I also want to talk about this. Check out this graphic. Now, I know, remember when everybody said that, you know, nice one, Google, you really dropped the ball on letting Microsoft beat you to the OpenAI and to AI. Well, right now, they're pretty much neck and neck, you know, on the performance of these names. So go over there, find out the performance spread. It was bad at one point, man. We were down there into minus 15%. But as you can see, over the last month, Microsoft now behind Google on earnings and, sorry, not earnings, on relative performance there between the two. So definitely shot up there for Microsoft. And I think what that sort of, or for Google, I think what that kind of means for all of us traders is, don't forget about those legacy names. Although Microsoft got in there first, we know Google's a big player, man. We know Alibaba has the play there too. We love Tesla because of the self-driving and all the AI that they have in there as well. And you've seen some of these names really take off over the last couple days. Do not forget about where the strength is before. You can play news headlines. Microsoft, with a $10 billion investment into OpenAI, they gained $300 billion of market cap. Google, you know, caught up with that play. Let's go back over here to this camera if we can. There, my guy, Fabian. But this is what I want to talk about. Was the sticky note. Today's sticky note, obviously brought to you by me and Day Trade the World and Trader TV Live. I wrote down here 65 support on VFS, right? And then we also talked about it here. Make sure that you hit up, you know, the sticky note is, please, it's free. Key area of support. What does this say? Bail if it takes this out. Bail, which means bail, you know, as if you're sinking. Bail on that trade idea. So let's go over here and have a quick look. Well, here's 65 right here. Okay, we can go back on a 20-minute chart for VFS and have a quick look. Why did we talk about 65? Well, 65 in here, we had that nice gap up into the 90s where we wicked that talk at $92. Someone in our room had that trade to the short side. Congratulations if you're still on it. Geez, that's a double up right now. But I was just going back, man, looking at this $65 level. We wicked it down a little bit lower, and I said, if you hit 65, have a quick look. Only 7 seconds. Uh-oh. Well, this is going to have to go on a little bit longer than that. I won't get fired, of course. But there it is right here. Here's that first play early. Look where it stopped at. It is literally $65 on the knot right there. We stopped at 65 and made that move back up. But look what happened the second time. We actually talked about this live when this happened, as I have to start talking quicker. There's the breakdown of 65, man. And once we broke that level, you shot down immediately $7. $7 that way to the 200 period, $7 back down in, and it had never recovered since then. VFS on the sticky note today. What a great trade opportunity for anybody that did. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm hearing a ticking sound now underneath my desk. Now we're not. Bang, there it is. The show still goes on, but thank you for hitting that one more time. We have to close out right now, but VFS, great trade. It was on the sticky note. Google, we had a $3.50 rip as well. We were short AMD at the close, which was good. We were short Coinbase. We didn't even get to crypto today. Ay, ay, ay. Hopefully we'll get to that next time. But thank you so much for watching the aftermarket recap. I'm Sean Katina. This is Trader TV Live. I will see everyone tomorrow at 8:30. Ciao.